My live alerting me that I'm going live. Hey, what's up, Karen? How you doing? Hey, everybody. I just wanted to. You guys have shown us so much love that I haven't even been able to keep up with your DMs. I mean, at this point, I have lost any ability to reach back out to you guys personally, thanking you for the love, the outpouring of love and condolences. I see your messages, but all of them I haven't. Hey, what's up, Dre? Just want to say, just sort of catch you guys up on how we got here. Of course, we wasn't able to really share a lot of it with you because it was going on while we were filming, and he wanted to be Amani, wanted to be on the show. He wanted to come back. Unfortunately, his health wouldn't allow him to. And at first, it kept being a lot of little things. And I've been telling people it was a lot of little things that kept seeming to be little things and going away. And then time we got hopeful that, okay, good, everything is great, it's looking up. There was some issues with the hospital accepting the insurance he had, which he's always had, but for some reason the hospital, they couldn't accept the insurance, and then they sent him to another hospital, all while he was needing a liver transplant. So finally, they sent him to U of M, University of Michigan, for those of you who don't know, which is in Ann Arbor, Michigan. That's the city, Ann Arbor, Michigan. And it's about 50 minutes, I guess, 50 minutes to an hour from Detroit. So that was a drive, of course, that we had to do, and his mother had to do. We only had to do it since Gigi and I got here. Gigi and I arrived on Wednesday, which was my son Derek's birthday. So I wasn't able to spend, my birthday with Derek. This is the first birthday I've ever missed since he's been alive. But it was so last minute. I didn't want to run the risk on seeing Amani alive. And we kept getting what I thought to be conflicting information. Stacey, his mother, was under a great deal of stress, as you guys could imagine. So she was remembering some things. She couldn't remember other things. And I couldn't understand why and how were we getting information that he was going to live, then he's going to die. And it just kept going back and forth. So finally, I tell my mother, we need to get out there and be with her, of course, Stacey. But also we need to get clarity from the doctors just to find out what's going on. So immediately when we landed in Detroit from Las Vegas, my mother called Stacey, let her know we're here and we want to come see Amani. And then she says, well, it looked like he has taken another turn for the worse. Understand, this was like the, 10th, 11th time that they told us that. So I didn't think that he was going to go. I really was very hopeful that he was going to, that Amani was going to make it through this. I had moments back in, I think, April of him dying, but I'm like, no, there's just no way. God wouldn't allow us to go all this time not knowing him, then he come into our life just for him to die. That's just, I couldn't, and I still can't wrap my head around it, to be honest. So when we got here, Gigi and I zipped up to the hospital. He recognized me. He held my hand. I mean, he was very excited to see Gigi and I. Of course, she and I had to hold it together because we didn't want him to see us break down. We didn't want Amani to see us crying. So we wanted to show him. We didn't want him to be able to look at our faces and gauge just how bad he was doing. And we didn't want to talk around him about him possibly not being here. We wanted to give him as much fighting hope as possible, as you could imagine. So, I talked to him. I asked him to hold my hand. I told him about all you guys' love. I told him about his GoFundMe. I said, your GoFundMe, it funded basically, because at that point we was like at 16,000 some odd dollar amount. So I say, so you don't got nothing to worry about. You don't got to worry about going to work for at least, maybe a year or so. I was trying to give him as much hope as I could give him. I was trying to give him as much hope as I could give him without telling him, if they don't think you're going to make it, You guys don't even understand. When I say devastating, I think it's devastating because unfortunately, because I can't just grieve for myself, I am grieving for my mother, who's taking it very hard. I'm grieving for my children, who's taking it very hard. Understand, Amani was their first cousin, and they were like siblings. You guys remember when we came to Detroit and we first met him? They literally played like children. I mean, like Amani became a 3-year-old with them because he never had younger cousins.
I welcome you guys back on here. If you know, consider subscribing, liking, and also share this video. So Deon Sanders, the actor, has come out to mourn the passing on of his nephew, that is Amani Barkley. On Saturday, July 20th, the star came out and actually released an Instagram video where he was really in a somber mode, very devastated, having lost his nephew, that is Mr. Amani, who actually passed away as a result of health-related issues. According to sources, they say that the man suffered with issues with regards to his blood and stuff like that. So he came out and released a statement saying that it's with great sadness that Deon Derrico announced the passing of my loving nephew Amani Barkley, who actually was really very close. Amani, as many of you know, was the son of my late brother Christopher Turner and Stacey Dickey. We met Amani just 2 years ago, and we became so close, and of course the family didn't know each other very well, but of course they did the DNA, and they became really close. So in an Instagram video he released, like you saw at the beginning of this video, he was really very devastated, mourning the nephew, who actually left two sons, Adonis and their mother Stacey. He noted that he will share the funeral and other updates shortly with those who want to join the last rituals, including his note saying that we thank you all for your love and prayers, and please know, although Amani has transitioned over to Jesus, your prayers were answered as God's will was done. Derrico signed off with a thank you and amen. So we are still sending our prayers to him, because losing someone you are close to is really very, very heartbreaking. It's really very touching, having lost someone. And of course we are still sending our sympathies and messages of condolences to the whole family and the fans, plus everyone who knew his nephew. RIP to his nephew.